Hello! Welcome to Down with Dragons here on Monsters of Roll on Twitch. I am DM Scott. With me, as always,
Killian, playing Maven Corpse Flower, a Circle of Spores druid, who thought she was going to be an adoptive parent and now is scrambling for meaning and purpose in her life.
And Mick playing Callan, Warlock / Bard, who up until recently was pretty sure there wasn't very much meaning in life.
Ooh. Wow.
Anybody else have chills in their heart?
Yeah. I do. Sorry. Well, I'm Chris. I'm playing Viet. He's rather clueless. He's a ranger / barbarian who has no idea that that the world has changed this much in just this episode here. And Callan has potentially found meeting.
Oh.
Yeah, that knot on the hang fool might be loosening. He might be learning to untie some of his knots.
Gotta try the knot.
So, it's been another week. Hopefully everybody is doing amazing. We are here 7 o'clock Central Time. I hope everybody is looking forward to this episode. I know I am. A lot happened last episode, but before we get into all of that, we are going to go out to the field to our announcer. Killian, can you hear me?
Oh, I think I'm hearing you loud and clear there. I actually got a fancy new headset courtesy of the new gigs here, so they wanted to make sure over here in this old neck of the woods that I'd be able to hear you a little bit better. All right. Well, oh man, there's not a lot of traffic around these days due to that long holiday. I don't know. I've been kind of up at the cabin, so yeah. Anywho, I got
How
a
are
couple.
the fish biting up there?
I
will never let go of this bet.
I couldn't get them to stop. I even just, I kind of foregone the old rod there, and I just took a little net and said, "Whoa, hey." So
Chris is gone.
Bye, Chris. But I do have a couple of announcements for you. Without the Minnesota accent, because I talk enough like that at work every day and it hurts me a little bit inside.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah, my retail voice is coming in real strong. But if you like Dungeons and Dragons, and let's be real, who doesn't, and you feel like you don't have enough of it in your life, then you are in luck. Don't we have a show for you, our sister show, Dungeon Patrol. You can watch them. They upload new videos every Sunday at www.dungeonpatrol.com. They're hilarious, they're ridiculous, and currently they're eating some paint. So I think you should go check out their their art going on. It's really interesting, and if you like Monsters of Roll, then you're going to love Dungeon Patrol. I also have some really exciting news. If you want some of our merch, or you just want Maven's face on your shirt, because let's be real, I want one, and I know my mom wants one. Hey mom, in the future, I love you. You can go to monstersofroll.com/shop. Again, mom, if you're listening, that's monstersofroll.com/shop. Where you can get some Monsters of Roll merch. We've got characters on t-shirts. We have Viet on a button, because who doesn't want Viet on a button? We also have our logo and a couple hats. There's a lot of stuff on there, so go check it out if you'd like. Mom, if you'd like, my birthday's on Sunday. If you'd like to go to www.monstersofroll.com/shop, I'm just saying, that'd be kind of cool. So
a good mom would.
Yeah, a good mom would. And I don't know if you know this, but you were considered a good mom until this pivotal moment right here. So we're just going to collectively
are teetering.
There's choices to be made. But well, that's all I got for you down here. I gotta go. The fish are biting, and I think I saw a Sasquatch in these woods, so I gotta go. There's a lot going on. So I'll see you next week or the week after or whenever the heck I'm gonna be back. I never know these days.
Just
thank you.
Clear, I'm not allowed to get a pillow with each of our faces on it for some reason.
What?
Ah,
I
ah.
think that'd be
But-
awesome.
Yeah,
I wanna-
but by the way, with that,
You
all
don't want to
the
sleep with us? Come on.
the graphics you see, you can get it on so many items, and it has caused me to miss the last little discount thing because I can't choose which one to put things on.
I mean, they do have comforters, duvet covers. If you want to sleep with us, now is the time. Just go to www.monstersofroll.com.
But no underwear. No underwear.
Underwear optional. Honestly, I'm not going to tell.
Oh. So, yes, thank you, Killian. Check out the store. That is awesome. Just get your gear if you want it. Otherwise, we always appreciate the support. And yeah. So now that the fish are biting and Sasquatch is a watching, we can get down to business. Hey, always believe. That being said, last week on Down with Dragons, decisions were made. May not have been the decision by the person that originally everyone thought it was.
Or
a lot of
someone
things
who
happened.
had any clue what was going on. But
Correct. It was very impulsive of just feels, but choices were made. Bloodletting may have happened. Granted, I will not say the person may not have deserved it. I think it was more the venue. The venue may have been part of the problem. But yeah, a lot of things happened, and a town was released from a curse, and all of the people inside at peace, and now there is a safe haven here in Cyprus. After a distraction, all of the villagers and our townsfolk that came with our heroes from Dragonlock have made it to Cyprus and are in the process of acclimating to a new home. It seems very quickly, and like the second you get within the city limits, the kind of if you pay attention, you can see almost a kind of divinish dome. The weather's different, the lighting's different, the mist and fog doesn't come in. There's a sense of peace and safety here that very quickly that conversation amongst all of the townsfolk and refugees, it very much stops being about getting to where the objective was, which was the monastery, and starts being about this could be our home, and this is a place that feels safe and a place worth fighting for as well. There's a very much tied to the cause of this place almost unconsciously. People don't even realize why they're going in that direction, other than there's this underlying current of you're safe here. This is a good place. Our heroes have assisted and are basically taking time over this time to help this community get established, get ready. There's going to be a little bit of time lapse in this episode.
Montage
Montage is cue the 80s music, Chris.
Getting stronger.
Perfect. So we will just start off. The group is all together. It is the evening of everyone just getting to town. Everyone has just kind of taken in the basic kind of environment of what this town is, that is deserted, but in pristine care. There's fields to harvest. There's shelves stocked there. It's a town that was ready for people to show up. Ironically, the former occupants are still here, but they have a grave site near the monument that Callan had found where he saw his vision. All the graves marked, all the people at rest. And as these new refugees show up and look around and start to take in everything very quickly, there's kind of a community working together to make a home. And Leo is there still by the tree. He's been talking to multiple of the people, kind of just, help yourself, find a place that feels comfortable, like we're all here together, try to kind of start at the middle here at the town square, and we'll just start working from there. Everyone is welcome, everyone is safe, and just kind of helping direct traffic. You three are here after everything that's happened, and the sun is setting. There's probably a small amount of still, trepidation of everything. You haven't actually made a evening here. But as the sun starts to set, a few of the people you traveled with, Catherine, or not Catherine,
No,
Jobin.
Jobin.
Yep. Starts to take up and start to light lanterns throughout the street in just these kind of central block areas. And very quickly you get the sense of whatever impending danger that was here before is not present anymore. And if anything, you're probably picking up the vibes of relief and almost that beginning of like a homey feel as you see some chimney smoke light up in a house here or there, and the lanterns are being lit. What are you all doing? How you all feeling? What's going on, guys? You're all together.
Well, Callan is kind of rebooting basically because his mind is a little stuck on what happened before. He was trusted with a big decision by the Maiden, and Callan recognizes the Maiden as some ancient spirit that, has some deep wisdom. So it's a little humiliating that he, in his own mind, made the wrong choice. So he's kind of milling around, but he knows he's got to help. So he, sparks up the unseen servant to go, hey, help Jobin, help whoever, help Leo, help everyone. But other than that, he just looks like he's wandering around, ruminating like some weird commercial.
Okay. Where's Maven at?
I think Maven is helping people get settled, going around and kind of taking stock of the families that have come through, how to set them up in the most economical way with all of the housing that we've got, and for the families that got split up or are missing some members, what do we need to do? How are we taking stock? How do we get word out? Kind of working with families here and trying to get them settled.
Okay. Viet?
That will be fingering the crow's foot.
Fingering.
Well, right to his beard. And he's got his dynamic dwarven war rod out while he's fingering his beard. Just to play into that a little bit more. He's on guard tonight. He doesn't know, right? He's not sure. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what just happened. He's really confused. He's feeling a little betrayed isn't quite the right word, but he is not. He's looking a little perturbed and distant and odd, but also hyper-aware.
Okay. All right, perfect. So, as evening comes, and I get where Viet's at for his evening. I think I have an idea for Callan, maybe similar. Are we on watch potentially tonight? Are we doing shifts, or are we all awake, or like what is the group thinking for that? Because it feels like there's a potential of it could be a sleepless night for everyone.
I'm on watch. After killing what's her name, I'm on watch tonight.
Okay.
I think watch would be essential, but we would, bring in all of the hardworking people who are throwing their hands in to set up this new community and make it a coordinated thing with them.
Perfect.
But definitely, I think we'd trade watch as normal.
Okay. So how about this? To start off with, Callan, seeing as you had the idea of that, and there will be no disagreeing with you, especially from kind of the normal hunters and stuff like that were part of any of the extra stuff. They are 100% on board and seem relieved that someone's bringing that up. Roll me a survival check with advantage, just for the fact of you're not alone in these efforts by any means.
All right. Got a 10. It was
Okay.
even with advantage. Yep.
Okay. That's not bad. I mean, you're not out in the middle of the wilderness. You're in an open valley in a town that's not horrible. So very quickly, people start to organize. A few people talk about taking shifts on kind of walking the perimeter of the town, and you all kind of half coordinate of like you'll be on watch too. Whether or not you all take turns actually sleeping or whatever, we'll get to that. But yeah, so between the three of you, who is taking watch? At what time? Or are we like, I mean, just tell me what you're thinking. First watch, second watch, third watch, or just all watches,
I'm gonna want second watch, because I want to do what I had been doing at the camps and settle everyone down for bed and start. I like doing shadow puppets. Maven, I think, might change professions, stop being an adventurer and just become a traveling shadow puppeteer.
Not a
Because,
bad thing.
yeah, the delight that she saw on those kids' faces was like, a fine wine. Delicious.
Oh, and absolutely. If Maven brings up the fact of like, why don't we, like we've been doing, first night here, let's get all the kids together and we'll do a show like we've been doing, like a little story time. All the kids are 100% down. They're like, yes,
Is the tree still glowing?
It's not glowing, but there
Okay.
are plenty of fireflies
Okay.
to the point where it is still illuminated because
Okay.
there are enough kind of just gently drifting through the area that it's like even without any kind of lanterns, the town square, the tree is lit.
Okay, because I was gonna probably use that as my light source if I could, and if not, I would use speak with animals and see if I could convince some fireflies to help me out.
This is the focal
Ooh.
point of all of that feeling safe.
Mhm.
There is absolutely nothing like nobody would ever say like, no, let's do it indoors. Like, yeah, all the kids probably plop down there because they just instinctively like this is the safest spot. They
Aw.
get it.
Yeah, and I tell them my favorite story. So this is Maven's favorite story of all time.
Which
This
is
is the first time she ever met, and the kids have heard of the brave Daruk in his adventures a couple times now.
sure.
This is the first time she got to meet him when he was almost downed by a vicious skurgelk.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of that. Yeah, perfect. Callan, what shift are you looking at? First or third or all?
I think
we-
he'd volunteer for like greeting the dawn. So third.
Okay, trying to get some sleep, but okay. And Viet, I'm guessing you're okay with being on guard, seeing as you're already on guard now.
Yeah, and we'll see. He'll probably.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. So this is where we're going to start doing our passage of time then. So our first night. Obviously, the night goes by very calmly. The
Oh,
weather's nice.
obvious.
Yeah,
After all that,
obvious.
everything that happened, obviously.
Yeah, obvious. Chris,
Every night,
every
night
I feel
for
like you're not paying attention to the
1,500
heartwarming
years.
story that I'm trying to help us tell.
Sorry.
Yeah, obviously it goes by very pleasantly. There's a nice cool breeze. Not too hot, not too cold. It's perfect.
Viet doesn't trust it.
Great story time. Viet can't help but overhear some of it, and the kids getting excited and scared and laughing and oohing and eyeing, and great story time. Callan, you toss and turn, kind of wrapped up in your own thoughts. You do find some sleep. During your watch, like all the others, nothing's out of kind, and occasionally different of the like hunters show up and just check in, being like, haven't seen anything, seems pretty pleasant. Like, and oh, I think I saw a deer, maybe, right at the edge of town, little things like that. Otherwise, they seem relieved that they're not creeped out with where they're at, and that nothing seems to be wrong. During that, near like probably about 20 minutes or so before you start to expect to see like sunrise coming up, you all of a sudden just feel the slightest little twinge of like someone tapping you on the shoulder. It's not a physical sensation, but it is just a kind of mental, like, excuse me, over here. And it's kind of behind you and down the main thoroughfare towards where before was that gate. Like now it's just open with just a road, but that is the direction you feel like someone's going. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay. I obviously have to check out what that is.
Yeah, whatever that is. So you make your way wandering that way. You don't even get to the outskirts of town. You literally just get to kind of the edge of the actual main town, to where it starts to turn into like some farmland and stuff like that. And there's a shift of light where you just start to get the beginning of the hue of that firelight over the hills, and you get the smell of the beginning of morning, a couple birds here and there, just that, just that moisture in the air of dew starting to collect. And suddenly in front of you, like a blink of the eye, you see Sorba.
Oh,
Hands down in front of her, clasped gently, smiling with an oddly almost alien pleasure and angry mixed face. Beautiful. She's very beautiful, very elongated ears, like platinum blonde hair. And she's standing in just a very silken dress and like an over shawl of some kind of almost like peacock feathers around her. Hello, my knight.
hello, my queen. How are you?
I am well. I am glad to see you still are amongst the mortals.
How could you have doubted it?
I did not. I knew of your capabilities. You did well in the mission I sent you out to deal with. Though, I'll be honest, I'm disappointed you allowed him to actually gain the goblet. But you did well. You kept my word.
Well, I mean, it's a credit to your great and wonderful mind, of course. I mean, you know my capabilities and you chose me. So clearly it was all a result of your great foresight. And well, it was confusing for me for a little bit. That was quite the journey, and I appreciated the challenge.
I feel like a deception check is. So I'm like, there's a lot of truth there, but there's a lot of undertone.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking
How
about?
about roll me a deception check with advantage for undertone? How about that?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not lying, but I
no,
am
you're
doing it
not.
to
You're
butter her
absolutely
up.
not.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
it's not butter. It's margarine.
does 29 work?
Ooh.
29 is real good. Whether or not she doesn't pick up on it or she doesn't care, you don't get the sense that she's displeased or, anything by your words. She just nods. Excellent. The journey is always part of the means or the end, or however you would decide to value the experience. Have you looked into my other request that I put upon you?
No, it's still in the back of my mind, and it is a follow-on task. We just got a little occupied with some important details here.
Ah. And she kind of just looks around, and you see. Well, roll me an insight. What do you see?
Insight 14.
14. Okay. You see her kind of look around. You're not sure what she's seeing. There's a mixture of a blank expression and also one of like just the slightest eyebrow raise. Yes. I see. This is not the place for you to be. I would rather you not tamper in these for longer than you must.
Okay. I'll get moving soon, I assure you. I did want to bring up I tried to strike a blow against Zazozan and take away 2 of his pawns, but that didn't seem to work out too well for me, and I feel like that was the wrong choice. I'm just wondering if I had taken power away from Zazozan in any way, would you be happy about that?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be happy from you striking a blow at one of our enemies?
Okay. Our enemies. Good.
Yes, you, me. We are tied together in all things.
My queen, it's just that your mind is so brilliant that it's hard to see beyond the dazzling sunshine of your mind.
Roll me a persuasion, because it feels like it's getting knee deep.
Okay, so that's 25.
25. She just eyebrow definitely raised, and she's like, obviously, I appreciate your words. And it's good that my knight knows his place. But I do not need you to understand all things. It is for you to do and be as you are designed and told to do. Though, and she kind of gestures back behind her, and there is kind of like, think like any kind of reception at a wedding, like outside wedding, like tent that just just appears, that is lit from the inside, and you can see there is a bed, very large bed in the middle. I am pleased,
Oh no.
and you have done well. You deserve rewards, and also, I would appreciate to be able to have more, and kind of looking around, more candid conversation. And she just holds out one hand.
Okay, Callan will take her hand.
You will take her hand, and she will escort you into the tent. The curtain closes, and the camera pans away.
But what do we hear?
You hear the soft sound of classical music, and occasionally just like
The
a
electric slide.
tambourine, or just like picking up a
I hate everything about that.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
That is directly what I wanted.
Barry White. Hey, baby.
Oh my god.
It's been a long time, baby.
Cute.
That's Queen Sorva saying that, though.
Exactly.
And then from the distance, it ain't unusual to be loved by
Oh
any.
my, oh my
All right.
god.
We have like our own lounge act.
And then Flight of the Bumblebee. And then and the electric slide. And
Oh my god.
Ending with "We Will Rock You."
Of course.
We almost had a spit take. Excellent. All
I
right,
hope it came out
perfect.
your nose.
Ironically, Viet. So the night goes by, as I said, peacefully, calmly, without any kind of disturbing sounds in the night. How did you find sleep?
So Viet would have kind of slumped against the probably ended up slumping against the tree, dozing off, and
By the way, if that's where you landed, no checks required.
all right.
It
Well, then,
has nothing to do with you.
then
It
he
has
fall- yep,
everything
sure.
to do with where.
great because he
It's where.
failed the check. Yes. So yep, he falls asleep.
Yep.
Peaceful slumber.
For whether
Totally
and
unexpectedly.
not even peaceful, more of just arrested sleep, and peaceful in that it wasn't your choice. If you are specifically saying against the tree, you don't have a choice. You have a dreamless sleep and a restful sleep that you have not had in who knows how long. You actually wake up, and for a moment, don't think about any of the numerous thoughts that flood your mind, the panic, anything. You actually wake up just feeling the warmth of the sun, and just an actual nice moment before suddenly all those thoughts start to slip in. But you have 30 seconds where you're Viet from before.
And he does realize it. Like as this is crashing in on him, and he does lay a hand on the tree. Just kind of pat the tree for a second.
as you're collecting yourself and having that moment, all of a sudden you'll hear just a couple footsteps and then kind of a awkward you'll hear Leo.
Pull himself up. Leo.
Hi. Am I disturbing you? I hope it's not too early.
No disturbing. No.
Oh, good. I was hoping I could talk to you. So I'm tied to this place now, as you know.
That is what girl child was saying, yes.
Yes, the maiden. Correct. And I am.
She lives in tree?
I think it's more complicated than that, but I also think it's probably only more complicated because of us. So yes, probably you're right. These people now
is good tree.
he actually, you see almost a relief in him as he's like, yes, it is. That being said, I have a lot of responsibility. And I realize now that I unfairly was putting a lot of responsibility on you as we were traveling.
It will look confused.
I thought you were the one who was most responsible to protect us. And I don't feel I was wrong, but I feel I put a lot more responsibility on you for keeping all of us safe and choosing what we did and didn't do each day as we were traveling. That now reflecting on it, I don't think you welcomed.
I am not a chooser.
Yes, but I also feel like you weren't a willing bucket to be filled.
I'm dwarf. No bucket.
You're right. I apologize. Let me stop beating around the bush. I'm responsible for
the
these
bushes.
people. Yeah, hey, I'm responsible for these people now, and
Yes.
anyone else who shows up here.
Yes, that was my understanding from the girl child too. Yes,
He holds
you
up
will do
the
a great
axe.
job.
He holds up the axe. I, other than a bow, do not know how to use this.
Hit it with the pointy end.
I was hoping you'd be willing to let me learn how to use the pointy end.
Yes.
Ooh.
And he just kind of like looks half shocked. He's like,
The
really?
pointy end goes in the other person.
Would you train me, sir, to help defend this community?
That I can be doing, yes.
And he bows his head and just, thank you.
We'll awkwardly do the same
thing. He just stop.
We've got another cultural thing he's got to learn, apparently.
Yeah, he just like waves it off. He's like, thank you. It means a lot to me.
Viet will lean in and sniff him.
He smells like I've smelled it, but I don't appreciate it the same way my wife and children do. But it is the first thought I had when thinking of this, thanks to Killian and Catherine. Smells and people smells. He smells like a cat that has been sunbathing for the last couple hours.
Stinky.
No, but a good,
know.
like just like the sun, like warmed up by the sun and just relaxation and peace and calm. Calm is the focus of that, of like he feels stable, like stable ground. And he kind of just, I have not showered.
I am. That is fine. I don't care.
Oh, good. When is a good time to start working on that, sir?
On the showering?
No, he holds up the X. No,
The pointy thing.
Teaching
Yes.
me how to use this properly.
Yes. Have you eaten?
I did have a little bit. Yes. Have you?
No, but that is all right. We can start now. I'm
Okay.
not hungry at the moment.
Okay. And so you two will start the morning off sparring, and for the most part, you kicking the crap out of Leo.
Totally no subconscious desires leaking through there
Not at all.
after the last how many days?
He and he takes it in good spirit of just thinking of like, yep, oh, that was a good one. My arm went numb there for a second. Yep, but got to keep that gun up. You're right. As you kind of lean into some of that feeling of that, especially now that you have that brief moment of not feeling it, kind of having a very recent moment of feeling a semblance of peace and then everything else, and you're starting to take it and mold it and use it to your advantage to strike with a lot more ferocity than maybe before.
And Viet would be teaching him all the dirty tricks he learned over the last 10 years of everything that he had picked up. So
Perfect.
he's not teaching him. Well, he doesn't know any kind of night conduct.
Yeah.
But on top of that, right, he picked up a lot with everything that went on in the mind games down in the pit.
Oh, for
a
sure.
lot
Yeah.
of dirty tricks that he's passing that on to Leo too, because Leo's going to need it.
Yep. So the next few days, that is like the primary focus of where Viet's at, and which is both improving Viet, also probably helping him a little bit deal with some of it because you have a outlet, and Leo is also intuitive, and so occasionally when you're having breaks, he probably does pick at you and talk to you and little things like that.
Good luck with that. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll, after a day or so, flash to Maven. What has Maven been doing over the last 3 days since arriving here?
Yeah. I think for the most part, she's been really doubling down on trying to get people settled, moving into these buildings in a way that is economical, but also like comfortable.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, kind of for lack of a better word, nesting.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And
Mhm.
like as you're doing that, like during the days when you're helping people do this and that and kind of situate themselves, the kids obviously bug you in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Daruk, you kind of let the kids play with this dirty rat.
Oh yeah.
And over the course of the next 3 days, like as you're helping everybody and all that, a couple times, like you'll notice that like those kids must be wearing Daruk out because there's plenty of times the kids bring him to you saying he fell asleep. You know, like he's just he's
playing
shot.
asleep. Yes.
And he's just and he seems tuckered out. He's not talking. He's just but yeah, absolutely. And you start helping everybody and getting things settled. And as you are doing that, you also start to get every now and then this weird kind of more of like if you've ever felt like that, like wanderlust, that itchy feet, the bottom of your feet, where it's just like you need to get out in nature. You need to go for a hike. You need to, do things like that. And every now and then you kind of, you put it off, you're helping people and stuff like that. And at a certain point, the perfect excuse shows up. Jobin comes and finds you nervous. And excuse, Amanita. Excuse me.
Yeah, what's up?
Um, there is a Mr. No, a Mister
Mhm.
near the tree line that is wondering if you had any time to maybe come outside of the town.
Oh, I'm already walking.
Oh, good. I'll just you tell him I told you, right?
Send my regards.
Right. And just he kind of like looks around like I don't know what to do with myself, and just and you make your way hurriedly because perfect excuse,
Oh yeah.
and make that tree line, and no one is there immediately. But the second you hit that tree break, and that is also very close to where that energy, like underneath everything feeling stops, and
Mhm.
just the wild resumes.
Oh, that's good.
And you hear a voice kind of above you. Oh, you made it in there longer, far longer than I thought you would. And kind of standing on top of a set of trees, kind of just perched down, looking down, you see Mister, his coat open and down, his hair kind of dangling just a little bit, just looking down with a half amused look.
I'm digging my toes into the earth, and I don't even think I realized how much I missed being outdoors. And I'm taken. I look at him and I just kind of I don't know if they can get me to go back.
There's plenty of kids in there that you'll go back for.
I know, but
Right? You
smell
never
that?
know what could try. Oh, trust me, it's all I live for.
Mhm.
Yeah, you never know what tree you're going to turn around. Someone's going to try to bite your head off. It's the best thing in the world.
It was nice to be safe for a time, but I don't know, the threat of constant danger becomes a little bit comforting after a while.
He'll just from his feet just go like into kicking out his feet and just plopping on that branch, and
Mhm.
just kind of look down and be like, I can at least empathize with that, because I'll be honest, being Max was kind of fun to be cared for a little bit.
You know, that is my favorite skin of yours. I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't one of my best ones, though. And he kind of just like kind of stretches, and then everything goes down condensed and looks like Max, except he still has his gold eyes, and he's like, you know, I still say we should have killed Jobin. Like he's still gonna bring down all those people. Like one day,
Yeah,
loose lips sink ships.
that's true. He did tell me you sent for me. So
I did, because
yeah.
he's so squeamish and fun to play with.
I
Did he tell you what I was?
No, he
No,
said you
I
wanted
was
to
a deer with shark teeth. And then I was Mr. Me normal. But yeah, he definitely
Can I
peed.
see it?
Oh, and he just and he looks like a deer that has shark teeth, just and he's just like, I totally let him try to feed me before I showed him my teeth.
Oh, that's classic. Oh, I bet he peed his pants.
No, he did. I could smell it. And then he shifts back into Max.
With deer senses. Oh God. Uh, I did enjoy watching you scare all of the other children. That was probably my favorite. My favorite part of the
let's be
trip.
honest, they're all so soft, and I felt like I could really help them in this form. And you were such a good teacher. You gave me full rights to just do what needed to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, like there was the between the lines thing, but that was amazing.
You know, I wasn't worried for a second, even if you hadn't turned out to be you, which honestly, I'm thankful that you showed up when you did. Oh, hello. Oh, hi.
That
Hi.
is not his form.
Yeah, no, she said, "Oh, you're talking about me? You love me?" Hi,
He
Cammy.
just kind of I'm glad it worked out. There's a lot of crappy things looking out and searching for all of you. I hope you're aware of that.
Oh, when would it? I mean, it wouldn't be a day that ends in Y if these fantasy days do in fact end in Y. If something wasn't coming after us.
Well, Maven, may I call you Maven? I know you're the Anita.
Sure.
Super. I'm telling you because I oddly have at least some kind of kindred understanding with you specifically. Um, there are things coming after you, and I'm telling you, I personally have dealt with many of the ones that I was aware of.
Mhm.
He's not done with you.
Yeah,
You know who I mean by he, correct?
I don't know at this point. No. Which he,
Uh,
there's so many people after me. I mean, with my charming good looks and my rakish demeanor, I mean, I'm catnip to these people. Who's after me now?
Well, obviously, the speaker of the vines who paid
Yeah.
me is interested in all of you. But specifically, Zazozan is not done.
I was
can
worried
still
you were going
smell
to
it
say
on you.
that. Yeah.
Whatever bonds you have to him, you may have, and I can tell the difference. I've smelled those who are still, that were part of the scalebound proper. And you and Callan specifically were, but you're different now, but I can still smell it on you.
I've already taken one bath this year. So
He just smiles. He's like, you know damn well what I mean.
I do. I just, I don't want to be serious anymore. I'm tired, mister. I'm tired.
Roll an insight.
Yeah.
Just that sentence.
Mhm. Oh, wait. I forgot. I have skills.
I have skills.
I can roll them. That's a 16.
16, that's not bad. You don't get the full weight of it, but you get the sense of just that sentence. That one's one that hits him heavy. And he's like, I know. But I can tell you, you're wide awake compared to what tired is. You, and he kind of just gives you a very specific look that insight, and I'm pretty sure, Kat, you'll get it, Killian. You have many things you can still lose. You're not tired. He's not done. And I'm telling you, I will not be following your back trail forever to prevent all that is. You and your friends entertain me long enough to at least take initiative to follow for a little while. I have other things I need to do. But I wanted to let you know that I am leaving and that I will not be here to protect your backside. And he just smiles. As fabulous as you think it is.
I know it is. Thank you.
Hey, I got to wear it for a little while.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. I think the safety of that town has me a little spoiled for the past few days.
He looks at it with a different feeling than you may think.
Yeah.
I don't go in there.
I don't blame you. It's a comforting prison.
Oh no, I'm not welcome.
Oh, why?
Monsters, dearie, aren't welcome.
I wouldn't want a deer with shark teeth in my town either, to be honest with you. But I understand.
He smiles very Treasure Cat. If that's all you think it is, you still have miles to go, and that is good on you.
The less I know, the better, mister. Knowledge this far has not served me well.
Tell Blue he's on his own for a little while, and I'm still keeping track of his record.
This is Killian, not Maven. Who is that?
Blue is what Viet has been called.
Yes, okay. That's what I thought.
And on the few occasions that Mr. has been brought up, Viet always seems to have a look of like, oh. And he just says that, and then he's looks around. Good luck. Don't spend too long in there, otherwise you'll forget what reality's like.
I think I've only got a couple more nights in me anyway. There's a few things I need to attend to, and the longer we're on the road, the more I realize they are long overdue. So, thank you for everything.
He will reach out and do kind of that forearm, handshake and be like, happy hunting.
You as well.
Call if you need me.
Oh, I will. I've got your number.
And he will walk off into the woods deeper. All right. So you wander back.
I want to stay out there for a little longer.
All right. Fair. You enjoy the wild. All right. Another night or so passes. And it's probably about noon. And everyone, Viet, you are sitting, near the tree with Leo, eating a little bit of food. You both have been working up quite the sweat. Leo has a lot of bruises, a lot of...
you are needing kick in the shin first and then knee to the groin.
I truly feel like a knee to the groin is dirty no matter what the situation, regardless of what you say.
And then you walk away. And the people
Can't
you
I
protect walk away.
Maven, you've been noticing that Daruk is sleeping more and more. He, I don't know if he looks sick, but he definitely doesn't look normal.
Yeah.
Has he been eating crackers?
Oh, God, what did you do to him? Oh, God. I'm gonna try to reach out to him mentally, and I'm also gonna kind of nudge him a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, wake up. Hey. You in there?
I'm here. What do you need?
What's going on? Why are you so... It's almost like are you sick? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just the kids. The kids have been, um, I'll be honest. You have been encouraging them to manhandle me, and Viet's been busy, and I have not gotten nearly the amount of crackers that I am used to lately. And I'll be honest, I'm a little beat. I've been just hiding in your hair for weeks and months, and I'm a little out of shape. I could use a little bit more exercise, except these kids are killing me. Uh, I'm a little tired. That's just respect a sore rat who's not used to calisthenics. That's
I
really all this is. I'm just tired.
Oh, I've used that line before.
I know. I heard you say it many times. But unfortunately, I'm not a liar like you, and I'm just tired.
I want to do an insight check.
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, beans, that's a 10.
He legitimately seems irritated and is tired.
Okay. I'll tell the children if they want to play with you. You're not feeling well, but once you rest up in a day or two, if you're not still back to your old self, we're gonna be. Don't make
Having the
me.
same conversation we always have. I get it. Can you stop being a worrisome, naggy wife and just
Are you
let
hungry?
me enjoy? I'm always hungry. Bring the crackers. I'd appreciate some fruit. I'll be honest, the crackers are one thing. Some
I
fruit would
think
be
you have
nice.
scurvy.
I
Not
need
tired, he's just
a
constipated.
rounded diet.
I grab a couple portions of foraged fruit that I grabbed along our travels, and I just kind of say, "All right, you can even take some in a doggy bag to go."
Awesome.
And
And he just kind of
Mhm.
sniffs it and just lays down next to it. Doesn't eat any of it. But he's like, that smells delightful.
Oh my god.
That's perfect. I'll have
Is this
that when
the
I wake
weird
up.
berries?
Probably. I'm worried about him.
The
I'm gonna
snozberries taste like snozberries.
when he's sleeping later today, and we don't have to resolve this right now, but I'm gonna want to do a medicine check on him
Yeah,
and
sure. Just roll
take
for
a
me.
look. Okay. Yeah,
Roll
rad.
for me. Because we're about to move on past that.
Yeah, bet. Okay.
I bet.
23.
Yeah, he's not doing great.
Yeah. What's wrong with him?
When's the last time you worked on rats and inner workings and things like that? Oh, not lately. Okay, he's dying.
Show me your eyes. Oh,
You're not sure specifically what's wrong,
Okay.
but you very much get the vibe. Even though this is like a weird connection, there's magical connection. You know what he was. You know all the things, and maybe I don't know. Maybe this place is part of it, but whatever it is, he's dying.
Okay.
You don't do a thing.
Yeah.
So, Callan.
Yes.
So during that same time, Viet is. Yeah, I know, Chris. I'm mean. Viet, you are doing your thing. Maven is watching over the kids and a sluggish rat, and you're kind of just off by yourself. You've been kind of doing some self-analyzation, thinking, and then behind you, over one of the walls, because a lot of people spend a lot of time by this tree. It just seems like the place to think. Behind you, all of a sudden, you hear Murda's voice. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, Murdered. Hey,
Hey,
good to see you.
good to see you. You've been pretty scarce lately. You've been kind of doing the whole emo gothy thing, and like, oh, I have emotions and I need to think.
Sure, that was most of it.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Right. Yeah, I guess I have been kind of introspective lately.
Yeah, you haven't been joking around. If anything, I feel like you've been maybe avoiding like anyone.
Yeah. Really. And I'll be honest. Kind of sounds weird, but I don't know if you know what happened down under that tree. But
Not really. Don't no. Other than a few vague, no.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all that stuff. The
Perfect.
in question is the maiden, Rel, and she kind of trusted me with a choice to save this town.
Oh, that's awesome. You obviously, he kind of looks around. He's like, obviously, you made the right choice.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
This
Kind of looks around again. He's like, is this going to go bad?
This wasn't my choice. It's a good choice, but it wasn't my choice. So I kind of think it was the wrong choice. And
Okay.
yeah, I feel like I've had to reevaluate my perspective quite a bit, because I was thinking of the big grand doom looming on the horizon and how I could best punch back at that. But I was just ignoring the people right around me and right in front of me that needed help now, needed help immediately. And, and once I kind of realized that, it's like, there's been no ideology or even theology that's helped me through life. Everything that I would ever wish for from any of that has been provisioned by the people I know and sometimes the people I love. And maybe I just pushed that away because it was too traumatic when I inevitably lost them, or I felt like they left me down. But I think that's kind of selfish. What do you think?
As you're saying all of this, he goes from kind of leaning on the little half wall to climbing over and like sitting with his knees up and just right next to you and kind of just that's a lot, man. That's heavy.
Mm.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it seems like you are wrapped up in a whole lot of bigger stake stuff than I am. But there's one thing I know for sure, and I've been like, it's something I remember. I don't even know what I remember it from. I just remember it. It's one of those things. I remember from when I was a little kid, but I just remember hearing a voice always telling me that the only way that evil can exist in our world is if good men do nothing. Even if you were looking at the big picture or the small picture, you were trying to do good. Sometimes it's hard to see what the right choice is when there's no good choice. All you can do is make a choice and stand behind it.
You're right.
He just kind of shrugs off. He's like, I don't know.
No.
Agenor was better at that stuff than I am.
Murdet, you I think you're wiser than you think, and you're not I'm not in bigger than you. You're in just as much as me, and I can't hold it in anymore. I can't.
Hey, before you go too deep, let me tell you, I'm not half as wise as you think I am, and I'm not as in as you think I should be, because I'm not as smart as I think I should be. He smiles very broadly at that. He's trying to get you to laugh.
Murdet, you're my brother.
I'm always good. Hey, I appreciate that. You're my brother too. We've gone through a lot of things together, but we got these people here, and that's a good thing. You did
It
good.
It is. And you're a good man. You're a good man.
So are you.
Murdit, you're my brother.
Callan, you're my brother.
No. Those memories you have as a child, I have them too.
Someone told you the same things as me?
Yes, because I was right next to you when they said that. You are my brother from the Greenleaf clan in the Deadwood. We escaped, I don't even know what, and survived by the skin of our teeth. I don't even know how. You ended up with Master Agenor. I ended up there for a little while. And then our paths went separate ways. You're my brother or half brother, whatever it is. I don't care. You're my brother. I need you to know it. Our fates are intertwined. You are in as deep as I am into anything, because I've been told that I am something that I don't even understand, some sort of key, and it has to do with these tattoos I have. And I'm not gonna move on regretting not telling you if something happens.
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right. So that's a 27. Nat 20, 27.
Okay. As I got to roll for him. I got to. That's a lot you just dropped on him. Okay. Mainly because I did not expect that, I'll be honest. I need a second to let the back of that part of my brain work that out. His mouth is just agape. And you see rolling an insight on top of it. Because I can tell you for sure 3 emotions potentially that he is feeling.
11.
11. I can tell you 1 emotion that he is feeling. He is feeling like you can see that he doesn't think you're lying. But he also doesn't seem to like the look in his eyes is like he doesn't see how what you're saying could be true, even though he believes what you're saying that you think it's true. Like it's that kind of look. And with that, we're gonna flash across town to Viet, who's kind of near the end of a day, taking a break and helping Leo, who's just looking for, like, he's got some good scratches and cuts and bruises and just he's sore. And Viet, you like, I know where there was a doctor's office. Like, we can hook you up. And you lead him down the street and show him where the doctor's office was. You open the door, and it is a, same table in the middle for dealing with patients, a desk and all this. And he immediately he's like, oh, lovely. And just kind of goes towards some of the shelves that have some remedies and bandages and things like that. And you walk in there and you definitely get the feeling from the last time you were in there dealing with a doctor and talking to her. And you notice on the desk there is a small, white, pristine envelope with your name on it.
Oh, yeah, we'll go over and poke at it a little bit. He's never gotten a letter with an envelope with his name on it.
Yeah, it's got your name on it. Sitting on her desk where she wrote all her notes. And there are all of her notebooks in a stack sitting there with the envelope on top.
He will open up the envelope. Kind of cautious and excited all at the same time.
Yeah. You pull out the page in a very feminine, and clear script, you'll see at the top it says Viet. Fellow in chains. I can feel that we all soon will be at our mercy with our created angels and demons that we all have made. I know you know that burden. Never forget you can share your burden with others. Thank you for changing all of our lives. I can feel it coming on the wind, like the wind blowing the feathers in your beard. Use my journals in the best way you can, whether for you or for others. I have had many years to research remedies and cures. Let my work at least speak more for my sins.
With his beard. Rubbing it.
Oh.
Very carefully fold the letter up and put it in his sack at his belt.
Mhm.
And he will look at kind of poke at the notebooks a little bit, flip a couple open, and
Just roll me a medicine check, just off the cuff, just for understanding what you're seeing.
good dice, good dice, good dice, good dice. Nope. 7.
Perfect. You are an elementary student opening up a like human anatomy college level like textbook.
I think
There
I've
are
been seeing
drawings,
this
there
organ before, but I
never inside the body.
yes, no.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It
that was
is
what that was doing, yes.
very intense. It is very thorough. 1,000 years of research. You have 5 books from. Did you ever truly get her name, or is it just the doctor?
Loon,
Okay.
Lundra or something.
Yeah, Lunadra.
Lunadra.
And yeah, so Dr. Lunadra, you have 5 medical books from her. You can note that and do what you will with them. They are entrusted into you.
Okay.
Oh, that's how she's been occupying her nights of horror.
Days of impending horror.
But like the field research was all at night.
Yeah, sure. As she investigated thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit on like what things taste like, smell like. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, Viet will carefully put those into a sack as well.
Okay.
Making very careful to not wrinkle his letter if he can avoid it.
Yep. Perfect.
With his name on it.
All right. So
and then he'll go rummage through the shelves and see if he can find any of if there's any doses left.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So as you start to rummage, immediately as you kind of collect her stuff underneath all the notebooks, there is just another scrap of paper, and it literally is an arrow pointing down. And you pull out the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
There's 10 doses.
Nice.
It's all in a nice little leather, like medical sack, but it's all there. Each vial or each, dose isolated and just contained and protected.
Glance at Leo, and then he'll.
He's very distracted, grabbing stuff, and he's bandaging, and he's just like, "Oh, what, Oh no, that's not. No,
Yep, that goes in the backpack.
Okay. All right. Flash across town. A couple days have gone by. Maven? Daruk is dying. You get the sense that he is dying. And as this is happening, he has reassured you many times. And as you do, you are sitting there and you've been kind of re-going over any of your own kind of, whether it be spell books or like anything for collecting your knowledge and stuff like that. And at a certain point, you just start to get the sense of like you're in kind of a garden and just behind like the house kind of you all have been resting at. And you get the sense that every single like flower in the area seems sad.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
as you do that and you're going over things, like just different spells seem to look like you're looking like kind of like you're teaching someone spells that are like level 1 things, and you're revisiting old lessons.
Mhm.
And a connection kind of comes to you in a way you weren't expecting, and you feel that empathy or that emotion that you always knew in the background was there, of like plants, you talk to them, they grow better, stuff like that, all of that. And you get that sense, and you can feel there's like a string there that you could tug.
I want to tug on that string.
You gotta tug on that string.
Yeah.
Okay. You tug on that string, and then you just all of a sudden start to hear, oh dear, he does not look good. It doesn't matter how much sun he gets, that normally takes care of all things. And then you hear another voice, I know we've been trying to send him all the positivity, but it really doesn't matter. It's really, he's getting near the end. The mulch is coming. Fire comes and things are reborn. You never know. Then you hear another voice. What are we talking about? Why is anybody like there's lots of sun here? What's going on? You just start to pick up these different voices.
Oh God. Yeah, I bet it's not ghosts. It sounds like flowers. This is their inane talk. Oh God. We gotta get out of here.
Excuse you.
Hello. I couldn't help but overhear.
You could try. Your predecessor's a lot more polite.
I doubt it.
I disagree, and I have eons of experience with you and your kind.
Mm.
You tramplers of grass and flowers, you walkers of the earth, you burners of your campfires. You just see like this one sunflower is just almost like a mane of like a lion's mane, just like staring at you. If a flower could like stare at you and try and intimidate you.
I stare back and I say, I don't think once in my life I've ever trampled on a flower, although this one looks awfully tempting.
Bring it, giant.
Oh, I mean you no harm. I promise you.
Are you going to count the ways you're not going to hurt me?
No, I have a problem that I'm trying to sort out.
Yeah,
And
he's dying and you don't care.
I care so much. That's why I'm trying to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah, I've seen you. You poke him. You prod him. You annoy him. I feel his annoyance.
I know, I am annoying. I don't know what to do. I've never cared for a rat. He's a person. He's not.
Yes, he's a person. How can you only see the rat?
I don't only see the rat, you picky thing.
Then Rose leans in. Excuse me. Is there anyone better I could talk to other than you? Like, do you have, by any chance, a higher Druid authority, because I get you talking to me, but like there's a lot of things I'm seeing here that aren't right.
Like what?
Like lack of care, malnutrition, abuse, mental and physical.
On you?
And she kind of just like like it's a rose, like with thorns and stuff, just kind of like gestures towards Daruk's rat body.
I need to turn him back, don't I?
Like all of the flowers like turn and look and be like, you think that that's something that, like, I don't know, like a thing that shouldn't be a thing is turned into a thing?
You are
think that
judgmental
maybe
and you have no idea why he's in
we
this
die
body.
every season? You think we can't be judgmental?
It can't come soon enough. I hope winter comes early this year. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
You meant every word, we can tell.
Okay, maybe I meant it a little. Okay.
Your
Flowers.
predecessor is much more polite.
I know.
She was kind. She was patient. She takes time with everyone here.
And where is she now?
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen her in quite a while. It's been 1,000 and how many seasons? Divide by 4. More than I can count because I'm a flower.
Fair. Look, Flowers, I apologize for my harsh demeanor. I was quite literally raised by wolves.
Well, all of a sudden, like a daisy leans forward. I know many wolves, and they are far more polite, and they raise their young well.
That may very well be so. For wolves, I grew up in. It doesn't matter. I won't make excuses for you, Flowers. That's not important. I have been trying to undo what I have done in a fit of rage for the past 10 years now. And I'm ashamed to admit this, especially to you. I don't know how.
Of course you don't know how. You can't undo what you did.
Then how do I redo what I need to do?
You'll feel like what's the right one? You'll feel like a prickle near your leg as like the most cactusy kind of, plant that makes sense to be here because that makes sense. Kind of pricks you and looks up and is like, you can't always give water to those who deserve it. Sometimes you gotta let nature take its course.
And let him die?
And then kind of like one flower starts a sentence, another one picks it up and finishes it and all that, as you hear, yeah, many fires burn, many trees die, many things burn away. New life is reborn. Things happen, things come,
You
things
are bad flowers. I do not like these flowers.
go. They are 100% nature.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't like these flowers. They do. Things come and they go, and decay is natural. Rot will eventually take over everything, and it's more the better for it. But
the sunflower kind of leans forward. Deserves better?
I'd like to do better.
Many do.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time, you can pick me. I give you my consent.
Thank you.
All right, flashing. Moving forward. So after that conversation of the dumbstruck, murdered Callan, he didn't know what to say, and if anything, just kind of nodded his head and just was like, "I'm gonna need a minute to digest everything you just vomited." And so like the next morning, you get woken up by him. He wakes you up. Hey, Callan?
What?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you, and I haven't slept at all tonight, and you kind of dropped a lot on me, and I don't know how to deal with all of it. I don't even know if it's all true, but it really doesn't matter. Because right now, I've only had one other thought on my mind, and I feel like maybe you care.
Okay.
How are you sitting with what happened with Agenor?
I don't like it. I have been gripped with the possibility that my decision could have been different and changed everything. That seems obvious. But at the same time, I don't think we would have made it here as fast and in one piece. And Master Adenor did make his own decision. He did make the call for himself.
He did. So, that being said, and he kind of like, as you're still waking up and getting hit with heavy too, maybe it's a sort of revenge. He just kind of grabs you by the shoulder. So let's go find him. And then he kind of grabs some of your stuff near the bed and pulls up the rope belt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he's done yet. We should find him because he's important and I don't know what to do. And I don't know what to do with what you told me. And you're not sure about the things you've done. And he would know what we should do.
He may know what we should do. And I do think we should find him. I'm not sure that going directly to find him is the right path right now. But if you don't mind, I can try to put your mind at ease right now, at least a little bit. Here, hand me the rope.
He hands it to you.
Then I will do the ritual for Nemo's true compass tracker with the rope, seeing if it points.
Are you trying
anywhere.
to use a custom homebrew spell against your DM?
Well, my DM,
well.
my DM did homebrew that spell and
100%
grant it to me.
Okay.
And I think it's just really neat.
It is really neat.
And he must have this magnificent mind where his foresight just totally saw this coming.
Never. All right. So, using the rope as a focus, you spend time casting the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
As you hold the kind of the belt out, on both sides, doing the ritual, focusing, sight, sound, taste, memory, everything. All of a sudden, the knot part of the belt all of a sudden goes pointing in a direction, heading kind of south by southeast.
Okay, so Murdet,
he seems excited by seeing that.
This means he's alive, and that this means he's in that direction.
Let's go.
I can't tell anything beyond that.
That's all I need. That's more than he's gone with for many times. Like, we gotta go.
Murdet, he whatever he's doing right now, he's made his choice. He's got it handled. You learned so much from him. You may be needed somewhere else.
What if we're needed by him? He saved us. What if he needs us to save him?
Okay. That's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah, I know.
And I get what you're saying. But like I said, like lately I've been focusing on the big bad out on the horizon and losing sight of what needs to be, what I can help right here next to me.
He grabs the edge of the rope. He's like, what if this is right now?
You're not responsible for that, Murdit.
You're right. I'm responsible for me. I gotta go then. I get it if you got other things, but I get it. You got a lot of dad issues with him.
Do I know?
Why?
Do I know what generally that's pointing at?
Dragonlock.
Oh man.
Yeah. Did you hear the end of that sentence? Just to make sure, audio.
No. Say it again.
Yeah, he just like, I know you got a lot of dad issues and all that. But so do I.
Okay.
I gotta go. You stay here, take care of your friends, do what you gotta do, be big picture, be small picture. I gotta do this picture.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then if you're gonna go, you need to know the rest of it. That key thing I was talking about.
His eyes kind of roll a little bit. He's like, okay, what?
Okay. Whatever kind of key we are, it appears we are the key to the evil in the world, opening up even more doom and dread for the rest of the world.
What?
Yes. So I can't.
So we're gonna kill, like, we're bad?
No, we're not bad. We're good. But we are a piece of whatever puzzle that the big bad evil needs to completely unleash the hells upon everyone we know. So I think me being out in the world is a big enough risk, because if someone gets a hold of me, and you also have sisters, and one of those is already in the hands of a dragon god.
Do you have anything but bad everything to tell me? I have family. We're separated. They're bad, attached and captured, and we're harbingers of doom, but we're not bad. Like, do you, like, seriously, like, is there a punchline? Because I would love to hear it.
Me too. Oh my goodness, me too. But maybe you'll find it. You go to Dragonlock, maybe you'll find it. Maybe you'll see the point of it all. I don't see the point of it all. I'm having a hard time finding meaning in anything right now. But right now I know you're my brother. You're one of these keys. If you're out of my sight, that part is out of my control. I can't take your decision away from you, but I don't want you to go. I need you safe, not off to be plucked up by another dragon god.
Do you think I'm safe?
Here, or next to me, or maybe the monastery.
Dude, no offense, because I trust you. Like, just from what little we've been through, I trust you, man. But nothing of the things I've seen you do is safe.
No, I get that. So I do have another idea.
But ironically, I get that. I don't do safe either, but I trust you. I get you in a weird way. I get it. But that's the thing. Maybe we're not the ones who get to be safe then if we're harbingers of doom or protectors of doom. Have you thought of it that way? Maybe we're the ones who get to keep the dark things out. We get to make that choice if we're a key or whatever the hell you're talking about.
Maybe.
I don't. It's a lot you're just dumping on me.
I do have one other potential.
Horrible thing?
I can't guarantee it's not horrible.
Let's just hear it at this point.
Okay. There's another powerful potential patron who's offered me protection. And if I were to bring you to him, I feel like he would give you whatever tools you need on whatever path you go, as well as protection. He's honest, he's sincere, he's wise, he's old. But what do I know? I've trusted people and it's been the wrong decision.
He kind of, at that, he rolls his eyes. Callan, we got a whole lot of baggage. I feel like if all of this is, and I hope to God it's not. All of this being factual, true, and this is just who we are. That's not bad. Great. We're keys or whatever, darkness. Ooh. You made some deals when you were against the wall or whatever. I might have a brother and I might have sisters. That's enough that it doesn't matter anything any of us have ever done because we have each other potentially, whether we're not together or not. So just have faith in that and have faith in the people who actually care about you. Because there's two other dumb people here who seem to not care about the dumb things you do because there's dumb things I do and they care about the dumb things I still do and don't care. Lean on them. I'm not perfect either. Don't think I am. I am nothing but trouble. But you know what? I'm still here and I'm still trying to do good, even though I most of the time screw it up.
You know, you're the wisest person I've ever listened to.
Please stop saying that because I know that can't be true.
No.
God help us all.
No, listen, Murdit, I can't tell you what to do. And obviously I am not the best person at analyzing the best path at everything. Maybe all the steps I've taken so far are leading to something good. I don't know. But now that you know this, maybe you can figure some more of it out. And I've seen you. I mean, I trust you. You don't put your faith in orthodoxy or the rigid things. That's probably the best thing you can do. So everybody in the universe who's telling you that only a fool would do that, they're just trying to get you not to do something that.
In fact, only a handful would do that.
I don't know.
Sorry, that's Scott poking. Sorry.
Okay.
He looks like he has a lot of mixed emotions and then hugs you.
Brothers.
I think I'd like to offer like as a catalyst for whatever happens next with that. like one of my newer abilities coming online.
Which one? Because I have a catalyst of other things too.
Oh, okay.
But what are you thinking?
Like dissonant whispers.
Ooh, okay.
So like up to this moment, all the pressures of the trauma of Callan's life are like crushing him, pushing inward. But like at this moment, they kind of, the direction turns the opposite way and they radiate outward, which at first is completely terrifying. And maybe Murdet will catch some of that, get a big download of exactly what Callan is talking about and images of, the past and whatever in the form of these, whispers, however they come out.
I like this. And also because of the boon I am giving you for right now. Mainly because of your tent night and the reward you got. You'll find that mechanically, until I tell you otherwise, you have advantage on wisdom saving throws. And also concentration checks.
Okay.
And during some of this, maybe be a subconscious thing of wanting to be able to express everything without your mouth getting in the way, and just literally just be able to express how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that seems to happen, and all of a sudden, like during that hug, all of a sudden Murdet pulls away from you with kind of a teary eye and just looks at you straight, and then kind of looks down and like, we gotta save Dad. And he just shakes his head. He's like, Master Agenor, you know what I mean. And he starts to walk away. About that time, all of a sudden, there's going to be a bell at the edge of town. All of you will hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And you will make your way to the edge of town. And you'll see Jobin is near the edge of town, and he's got a bow in a shaky hand, and he's just staring out towards the wilderness. And then you start to hear cries in the distance, screams, young children yelling, help, help, help. And you can hear running. What do? You hear the yells. Jobin is not acting, and Leo is there too, and you see he has a mixed emotion of wanting to go but not knowing if he can. And you know what? Screw it. No one's saying anything yet.
Is it our turn to?
At any time, there's no initiative. Just speak.
Viet will start running.
Okay, Viet will take off.
We were waiting for you to take a breath, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey. It's never stopped you from interrupting me before.
Okay. Callan's stuck in a heavy moment. Let's go. Let's react to that instead.
Yep, Murder's right with you.
I tuck Daruk safely into my bag. And I run too.
Okay.
If you kill off my husband, Scott, I swear to God.
What?
You will make me cry big,
you
hot,
take off,
snotty tears.
You take off running. You get 100 yards into the forest. You can hear the screams. They never stop. And you come across two small dwarven children. As they are running, they are kind of half hand in hand, pulling each other, and kind of they run into Murdet, because he has the fastest speed out of all of you. And he kind of half catches them and takes them up. and they're basically pointing behind them and be like, behind us, behind. We got separated. They're hunting us. They've been following us for miles. You gotta help us. The others, they're back there. We got ahead. They you gotta help us. And they're like
Meredith,
sobs, cries.
be taking them back. Yeah, we'll throw a long stride around and
Not too long. Like as you hear, like you say, gotta take them back. All that. Just as you're saying that, and Murdoch takes them up, you'll see Leo walk, like get up to that 100-yard line, like, and just basically look at all of you and just nod his head.
so he can't cross. Like he can't cross the 100-yard line.
He's there. No, he's outside the
He's
city
outside
limits.
of the thing. Okay.
Yep.
All right. We get her going.
So
Yes.
Murdoch picks them up, kind of nods to you, Callan, with a look of like, be careful, seriously. Like, we're not done talking, you know? And takes these two dwarven kids running, and they are not happy they're being pulled away, but also happy they're being pulled away, you know, mixed.
Mhm.
And you take off, keep running, and you start to hear the screams. You start to hear a couple other sounds, like a lot of kids. You hear a lot of kids. And you hear snarls. You hear that wicked little, like, of those hunter undead you heard in the city. And you come into kind of just not a clearing, but just like less brush and all that, as just trees in the woods, as you see a woman using a like mixture of golden and pink orange radiating light literally grab the head of one of these things, and it explodes and turns into like a misty ash, which will introduce our newest player to the group. Sorry it took so long there. You're muted.
I am. I'm not anymore.
So as they hit this clearing and see you do this, there's a group of 4 other children kind of huddled against a tree that you kind of put yourself between.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they see when they look at you? Who are you? What are you?
Wow.
Give me a little.
Viewed from behind, I'm assuming behind side, not a very tall figure, pretty slight, not heavy, not thin, just kind of slight everywhere. The biggest thing about this person is they're just massive amounts of just tangled fire colored curls. And this small woman is just standing there in between undead and children. Last stand, like Captain America, just standing there, ready to take him out.
Yeah, and you, literally you showed up at the end of that last stand, and there's just piles of burnt bodies and ash and some scared children in between, like on the outside edge, where this woman must have stood off these creatures. And Juniper, you hear people running through the woods. You expect probably half another wave of these creatures, and you turn and you see a human male, a dwarf, and a still fairly clean, but getting dirtier elven druid just kind of bursts through the woods looking at you, and then a human who looks like he's way out of breath behind him carrying an axe.
It was probably a half turnaround, like ready to fight, weapon in hand, and then just, oh, you're alive.
Show me your eyes.
Oh, that's the
Just
best.
so wide. They are a brilliant green, but not
Oh.
glowing. They do not glow.
If it
They
wasn't for
are,
the fact we
however,
don't
green.
need to yet, I would
You-
say that's where we should have ended this episode. Just show me your eyes.
Is there somewhere safe nearby?
Well, there's pretty rude flowers back there, but
Maven,
Yeah.
quit being rude. Yes, come
Juniper,
here.
you
Come
can
with
feel
us.
where safety is. It's that way.
Callan will be blasting zombies the whole time.
There are no zombies left.
Oh, she got them all. Hey, way to go.
You literally saw her kind of eviscerate or immolate the last one that was like this final stand.
A
That
lot of ash all over this place.
Yeah.
It's just ash. Full
Wow.
ash.
Good work. Are you okay? Yes, we have safety. Let's go.
She'll go and collect. Come on.
Are these all dwarven children?
no.
No. So you met the two dwarven children, and there are. Oh man, we have a whole orphanage with us, kids. There would be a human boy, kind of tall and lanky, sandy blonde hair, blue eyes, and he would be carrying a toddler, a human boy, kind of dark chocolate hair, 2-3 years old. There's about a 15-year-old human female with curly black hair, and she looks like she was about ready to throw down too. And then there's also a halfling female. She's pretty short even for a halfling. She's got red hair, green eyes. Another human female around 10, thin and really frail looking with dark hair. And then another half elf boy, short, pudgy, kind of sandy blonde hair and brown eyes. So we have a whole gaggle of children with us here.
Maven is being good with puppets. Via will tell the children very seriously.
I
Okay,
hello.
Maven's
Hello.
distracted, so we need.
Welcome to the place. We have room for you. There's more than enough room, and we do puppet shows every other night. So you come on in. There's a really cool tree and some fireflies, and she's trying to she's talking to the children.
Yeah.
Trying to distract them from the horrors they just
Yes,
witnessed.
yep, exactly.
All right. So you, through talking to the kids, especially because after getting Maven's puppet show persuasion and things like that, they kind of help lead the way a little bit. Like, all right, this seems like it could be a good place, and start to lead you back with Maven and like everybody kind of as a group. Leo looks spent. He looks very like until you get to the city limit, and the second you cross it, you can see his posture, his gait, everything changes again. And
Yeah.
he looks like topped off, gas tank topped off.
You are
That
not
was
being
weird.
the outrider, Leo. You need others.
He just shakes his head of like, yeah. It's probably not going to stop me from trying to help, though.
Yes,
but
you're right. You need to recruit helpers.
Yeah. So you all head into town and just kind of down very quickly towards the main thoroughfare, back towards the center of town, where that sense of peace and calm and everything just helps everyone. And the tree, huge canopy. You all can kind of chit chat here for a little bit. So tell me what's discussion. You talk. Give me just a
Is
moment.
there anywhere that we could? They haven't slept in about 3 days.
The tree is very good for sleeping.
And very
Mhm.
quickly, there'll be a couple people as Leo kind of shouts of like other like parental figures that like they can come and rest here with our kids or whatever, and kind of like get ushered into where a lot of other people are, and kind of are made it easy. Even if they're not going to sleep immediately, just kind of like, here's some food, here's a blanket, here's clean clothes, here's things, let me mother you. Kind of.
And does this feel okay, or is there like a weird vibe?
It
Like
feels
she would be very
so-
concerned.
It would feel so weird, but it is the best kind of weird, where it's like that thing inside that you felt. There's just this weird, like almost like a harmony going, and the harmony and the
There's like a sense
Other
of
one.
peace. Like
in songs, someone sings the harmony, someone sings
Melody?
the other thing, like melody. Thank you. Oh, it's getting late for Dad, for me. Yeah, it's so yeah. That is the feeling you get from this place, is
okay.
a melody to your harmony, which doesn't answer any of your questions, but it gives
Oh.
you a weird context. So as you're now left alone with them, you can have those thoughts as you all talk for just a second. Just talk. I can hear you.
There is a
Thank you.
girl child here. She will be taking care of them too, I'm sure.
A girl child.
She's more like a patron spirit who's keeping this place safe, or
She lives
helping
in
keep
the
this place
tree.
safe. Yeah. She lives in the tree.
A girl child who lives in a tree.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes. Yes, you are understanding. Yes.
And
It's more like a goddess type patron situation, protector of this area. It's something that I'm not quite sure of either, but she made the curse. There was maybe I shouldn't. There was a curse, and then we got rid of it, and now this place is great. So
Is it one of the dragon gods?
No.
no. Nope.
That was-
This is
That was
just
the
a
people
girl,
who were cutting
just a
down the
baby.
tree, was the dragon god peoples.
Mm-hmm.
As this tree is in perfectly good condition.
I think we could illustrate the whole thing a little better. Callan
With the
is
shadow puppet show. Say no more.
complemented by Callan's illusions and music.
Yes.
So
I'll get the sheet.
I can basically construct a whole stage on Withku, have a little dumb show about how our band got here and the events since, to help Juniper understand, and everyone else that's new here understand the story of Cyprus.
Because that's
I'm
not
living for
weird
this.
and creepy at all.
This is I'm
With
Catherine is
occasional
living for this.
annotations from Viet.
June is very like, what is this?
That person was drunk.
Right. So you mean to tell me that this place is free from the influence of the dragon gods?
Yes.
Is there a church here?
Yes.
Mm,
There's
there
a
is.
smallish temple / gazebo.
More of a cloister, you know.
Yes.
Take me there.
I would love to take you there. Let's go, Juniper.
Oh yes, I have told you my name is Juniper by this point. Probably.
Yes. So having been there,
Oh, did we do introductions?
No.
Not yet.
No, you just did a
but,
puppet
hey,
show.
Just keep going.
We went straight
there-
into the puppet show.
Is anybody else coming?
Murder will be following Leo as
I'm-
well. But
I'm gonna be camping outside of the town for a little bit. I'll just be right by the gate.
there's no gate there, just the location that it used to be.
Yeah, where the gate used to be.
I don't know if any more of them followed us. So
We'll be fine.
we
Stay safe. Get some rest.
Viet will follow.
Hmm.
He's curious.
So everyone but Maven makes their way. Okay. So you're at the little cloister columns surrounded by plant life and a graveyard in this case. Yeah.
Yes, this is where the maiden, Rel, first spoke to me when I came into the town. We can... Offerings are... Preferred offerings are sage,
But not animals.
not animals.
Well, no. Sorry, my brain is pretty scattered. Are there any texts?
Would Callan have seen anything like that?
No. There's...
Fiat gets out his notebooks, and
Yep.
these are notebooks.
Yep. Viet has some texts.
Uh-huh. How about in this
But the
The
letter is
structure here.
mine. It's got my name on it. See? Puts it back.
See that here.
My mother was
dear
naming-
Viet.
My mother was naming me Viet, like on the letter.
My
Puts it
mother was
very
naming me
carefully back
Juniper.
into- Juniper, it is nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Viet.
Every time I hear this, I just hear that scene in Infinity War, like, I am Groot, I am Steve Rogers.
Is Viet handing the notes to June?
Yeah, hold hands.
Oh,
hands her
she will
notebook.
definitely take a look at them. What do we got here?
These are the medical journals.
Yeah.
Roll me a medicine check.
A medicine check?
Yeah.
All right. First roll is let's see here, medicine.
First roll of your character.
Ooh.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I like
That's
that.
why we used to call her the Dice Overlord.
Hey, now you cursed me.
Yes. These are comprehensive notes, like as you kind of page through them,
They will
of
point out on the picture.
multiple races.
I have seen that part.
Detailed anatomy,
And that part.
and there are sections of like common ailments that affect races more than others, cures, remedies. Like, this is a medical journal of probably dozens of someones who must have spent lifetimes collecting knowledge and putting it together.
Okay.
Like, just that's perusing.
These are very extensive. However, I meant religious texts.
Oh, Viet will hold his hands out.
Come back.
Those are great, though. Very
Yes.
helpful.
They're from my friend.
Very good friends.
Haven't seen any. Callan will, prestidigitation light the brazier in the structure.
Yeah. Lights up.
Are
I will
there any-
take. Yeah. Oh,
and
sorry.
all of the stone seems to take on a little of that luminescence beyond just normal light.
Is there any writing on the structure? Or-
Anyone who wants
Yeah.
to look, roll me a perception check.
Absolutely looking around in there.
Absolutely.
I don't see much. 9.
9.
17.
17. All right.
Once Viet realized that people are looking for stuff, he would be looking around too.
All right.
With a
Roll me
Dirty
that.
20.
Dirty 20.
Hey.
So you don't see any kind of specific like texts or inscriptions. You do see the odd like equivalent of like a pictogram or hieroglyph type thing on some of the columns. So there's probably 10 columns. 4 of them, no pattern to it, have some sort of very old, very worn kind of hieroglyph pictogram on them. And that is specifically what Viet sees. Callan, you see on one of them, which you kind of looking through, and then you find one and kind of get focused on it. And then Viet's like, oh, you're looking at that? Yeah, there's one there and there and there as well. like he saw it the whole time weirdly.
As he points them out, do they have any sort of meaning to them?
Roll me a religion or history check.
Just keep me rolling.
Does
Let's
Viet know what they say?
go.
Same. Roll a history or religion.
So it's not immediate writing.
Let's go.
No, pictographs. They're not writing.
18.
Callan, you can as well, seeing as you're looking at it too. If
Okay.
you want religion
Yeah.
or history. What you roll?
18.
18,
Callan got a 16 for history.
16.
Natural 20 minus 2 is 18.
Well, geez, all of you and your, snooty book learning ways. So, the four you see seem to be pieces of a story. They are like a, hieroglyphic telling a chapter or a moment of a story. Each one, they're very worn. And re-looking over all of them, you can see there might have been, once upon a time, more here. But these don't seem as pristine as the rest of the town. It seems like these saw the actual, racks of age over the time that it was spent. The four you see one is a woman walking out of an ocean. So you got ocean and someone walking out. Then there's nothing on a column. You see same womanly figure with a bow shooting towards what looks like stars in space. Nothing. You see another one where you see that woman wrestling with a serpent. Nothing. And then you see what looks to be the miniatures of multiple little stick figure children inside of an egg with the serpent curled around the top and a wall separating that from the woman who looks to be at the wall. And nothing.
Oh. June is going to pull some herbs out of her pack, some sage, like they told her, and then probably some rosemary and some lavender and some juniper, and kind of light those on the brazier.
Okay.
To just kind of, it feels right in this moment to her.
Okay. So as kind of you all take that in and have this quiet moment, at this point, even though I don't think I was descriptive as I could have been, we'll just say night is coming. It feels thematically appropriate as these are being burned. You all are kind of taking in the potential clues or context of what you were looking at. And the camera will back out and go to the edge of town to where Maven's at. Maven, sun's setting. What are you doing?
I am proverbially shitting my pants after that conversation with the flowers.
Mhm.
A phrase I never thought I'd say. Although being a druid, I guess I don't know why I'm surprised.
Hey, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I want to kind of get a feel for the land around me after noticing that those flowers
Inside
were
or
like
outside?
inside or outside. Outside. I want to go outside. I don't want to be in there anymore.
Okay.
Part of her thinks that what it's making Daruk sick is being in there, but deep down, she knows that's not it. Yeah.
So just enough that you feel that change, that curtain draw away, and you're in the wild again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
He's not
wanna-
doing good.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do, and I'm getting sad. I don't want to bug him. I don't want to wake him up again, but I also don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm like sad. I'm like actually sad thinking about this fictional character about to die. I need to think about this for another session. Is that allowed?
Nope.
Damn it. Okay.
So as you are sitting there, you take him out of your bag. He's resting, and Maven's freaking out.
Yeah. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking the hell out. I'm like trying to I'm pacing, right? Like I have him on this like a stump or something, and I'm like pacing. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't know what to do.
What are you
And-
doing? You're gonna
Oh, you-
wear a hole or a trench in the ground.
Yeah, you know how I like to walk?
Yeah, I know. What's the problem? Hey, this was supposed to be done a long time ago. It's fine. Relax. You got bigger things to worry about.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You got to get our daughter here.
Well, the plan
is
was
a
to
good
leave you
place.
with her. Yeah,
I get
it is.
that.
Yeah, this is a good place.
I got to see her. Like, we're good.
I'm so sorry.
You see him kind of just weakly lift his head, and he's just like, "There's nothing to be sorry about. We got a lot of extra time together, even though, I mean, it was a one-sided conversation for a long time of it.
Probably for the better for some of that.
I mean, I was angry for a long time, I'll be honest. But she's good, and that's all that really matters. And if she gets here, I guarantee you, I can tell. You can feel it. She's gonna be good here.
Oh yeah. You know, somehow.
Granted, that tree is not gonna be as bright once she shows up, but I mean,
Somehow she did okay through no intervention of either of us. Honestly,
she
think we
got
would
the
have slowed
best
her.
parts of us and without our baggage.
That is true.
Hey, you're gonna be fine. You got a whole other group of baggage that will be easier without me.
Well, you didn't take up too much space, so I guess I will have some room in my pack now.
Yeah, and it won't smell quite as bad in the dirt, probably. So, I mean, we both win.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Hey,
Where do you want to be?
just lay down with me. We're good. I'm just tired.
Me too. And yeah, I lay down.
Yeah. Fall asleep. You wake up with a hand on your shoulder. Someone's shaking you awake.
Oh God, who is that?
You see Daruk. As Daruk. Looking just as kind of shocked as you. And he's like, looks behind him. He's like, want to take a walk? Because I think we're good here.
Mhm. We can do that.
And inside the dome, because it seems to maybe have extended a few more feet, you two start to take a walk. Daruk as a human again,
I pinch him, and then I pinch myself.
and he pinches you back, and he's like, "Hey!"
I'm just checking. Either stress has gotten to me and I'm completely crazy, or I
He's gonna
died.
100% like hug, pick you up,
Yeah. Oh my god.
and that is where we're gonna leave this episode.
I'm so. Oh my god. It's because I started crying, isn't it?
So, through all the roller coasters here on Down with Dragons, please join us next time. I'm DM Scott, with me as always, and also joining us.
I guess that's me, Catherine, playing Juniper.
And I'm emotional. Killian playing Maven. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, and I'm Mick playing Callan. Oh my goodness. Time to just let it go.
Uh-huh.
Chris playing Viet.
Have a great week. Join us next time.
Bye.